Greetings comrades, Soviet Gaming here. Today we'll talk about Dragoons. Skills, builds, Eidolons, everything you want to know about Dragoons. So for this video I actually made some research, so I know some stuff that's upcoming for us and I know the future of our class, and it's kinda grim, guys. Let's start with the skills. Based on your spec that you will pick, you will have to focus several skills. All specs focus Dragonfire Immolation and Dragon Siege. Dragon Siege will be unlocked at 150, so it's not that soon. Dragonfire Immolation is being unlocked at first class level up, which is, I don't truly remember, it's somewhere in the beginning of the game, so you won't have to wait for it for too long. So in order to figure out which skills to level, you want to figure out which playstyle do you want. Do you want to be tank or the damage dealer? Let's go over each of them so you can know what to pick. I decided to go as a damage dealer because I spent a lot of time soloing, so I know that tanking isn't the best thing for that. So I went for the top 3. For the damage dealer you want to follow the top path over here, and when you will cap, it will be at level 150, you will be able to get all those talents over here. So your main feature will be breaking the enemy's armor by, well, increasing the damage taken by them, buffing your own damage with the Wing Buffet, and buffing your allies' damage with the Dragon Siege. So it will be way later into the game, but it will be really useful because you can allow your team to be stronger, basically. So last 2 talents in the damage tree, boosting everyone's attack by 5 for 8 seconds, and at 3 points it will be 15, and the last Dragon Soul Assault increases the damage taken by the target by 2% for 4 seconds and stacks up to 10 times. So yeah, that will help your team to take down bosses faster, to be more effective in the guild wars. Most of these debuffs are mostly useful in the group PvP or group content, so when you're going into the territory war or in the guild war, that might be kinda good because it will affect more targets. Other than the top 3, we will have some extra talents that we can put elsewhere. So I advise going for the Fortified Dragon Soul that will increase our attack during the Dragon Burst, and Dragon Soul Mastery that will increase our movement speed and our critical chance. After that we go for Preemptive Strike, which will increase the move speed and critical rate as well. But we are not going here for Raging Dragonfire because it increases the threat, and you don't want to have threat on you when you are a damage dealer. So I suggest going for the Wind of the Dragon Soul after that to get some additional damage from the normal attacks. It's not a great boost, but that will work. But yeah, that's pretty far ahead. As a beginner, when you just starting, you want to focus on the top lane, getting all of those things out, maybe getting Dragon Soul Mastery if you want it. I just go for the plain damage because why the hell not? And yeah, of course, all those builds require testing, and we can't test it before we reach 150. So yeah, those are personal opinions. If you have your own, share it in the comments. Let's go with the tank build. It's a little bit trickier because you have way more opportunities there. You can go with recommended. Let's reset it and see how recommended goes. You can go with recommended, which will be the middle lane, but I really don't recommend it that much because the bottom lane is way better. As you can see, they recommend us to go this way and over here and down there. It's nice, but I really like those debuffs that we have on the bottom area over there. So I have 2 tank builds in my mind. First one is this one. You will go in the middle lane till this white skill for fighting Soul Max, which will give you additional threat and defense. After that you go to the bottom because that will give you Dragon Courage Mastery that will heal you, and then you go to the bottom to get additional debuffs. So you'll go on the bottom lane through all those skills, extend the duration of the Dragon Impact, and then we got Fortified Pivoting Spear, which is really good as well. It gives us additional threat and decrease own damage taken, so it's nice, right? It's nice. When you get here to the poised defense, you get all of those, and after that you go all the way up till you get to the Preemptive Strike. That way you will get the Fortified Dragon Courage that will give you additional protection, and you will get Preemptive Strike, which will boost your move speed a little bit, so it's not that important. But we want to get additional threat in the Raging Dragonfire if we have problems with the aggro. And then going all the way to get the Will of the Dragon form, which gives you additional healing and threat generation. So it's pretty nice. If you don't have problems with the healing, if you don't have problems with the threat, you can go all the way to Defensive Dragonfire. This is the second build basically. It will increase your defense, and then go for Stalwart Dragon Siege, which will additionally increase your defense for you and your allies, by the way. So that's a really nice buff that you want to have in your group. And then going for the Dragon Courage Protection, that will additionally lower damage of enemies, and that is really nice as well. That will give your team a good damage reduction. So based on the build you'll pick, you will have buffed skills. For the damage dealer, it's Dragon Charge Mastery, Wing Buffet, and Dragon Fury. Those are the low-level skills that are buffed. For the tank, it will be Dragon Impact, and it's buffed here as well. And we have the Fortified Pivoting Spear, and of course Dragon Swipe as well. So let's go back to the skills. As a damage dealer, I'm focusing on the skill that I will use. That's Dragon Charge, Wing Buffet, Dragon Fury, Dragon Fire Immolation, and that Dragon Siege later on. So right now I have 4 skills that I use most of the time. Those are those 4 top 2 and bottom 2, and 1 slot goes for additional skill based on the situation until I'll get that Dragon Siege. It won't be any soon again. So for the PvE I go like this. The first skill is Dragon Charge, second is Wing Buffet, then we go for Dragon Fury, then we go for Dragon Fire Immolation, and ending with the Dragon Impact. But mostly I use Dragon Impact for my own defense. So if I get my ass kicked, I'm using this Dragon Impact and I'm getting 50% damage reduction for 3.5 seconds. So that's a skill that will get you out of a tight situation. You can go for 100 halberds if you want more damage, because that will give you additional Dragon Soul. So yeah, it's good for better damage, but I like to keep this one just to get myself safe. I use the same skill basically for the PvP with AI players, but when you go into the Meteor War Zone or Guild Wars or 1v1 real-time PvP, I really want to have Pivoting Spear Dance in. So then it goes like this. First skill is Dragon Charge, second is Pivoting Spear Dance, third one is Dragon Fury, fourth one is Wing Buffet, and fifth one is Dragon Fire Immolation. This is the exact order that I use most of the time, and that's how I use the skill in the sequence. Why? Because this Pivoting Spear is pulling enemy towards you and stunning him. So it's really nice to have it before going in with additional stun. But why it's second? Because you can't use it when the enemy is running, because even if you're on top of him, it won't work sometimes. So that's really annoying. That's why, first of all, we go in with the Dragon Charge. Then, after that, right after that, we are going in with the Pivoting Spear Dance. After that, we're stunning enemy with the Dragon Fury. That's doing a lot of damage already. Then going in with the Wing Buffet by buffing out damage and kinda dealing additional damage to the enemy. And if we have time, we put Dragon Fire Immolation on top of them by dealing additional damage. And it also gives us additional defense for next 8 seconds that will help us to prevent enemies from doing way too much damage to us when we're out of skills. Yeah, and then again, we still don't have that Dragon Siege over here, so unluckily, that's all we have right now. So yeah, as a damage dealer, I don't use Dragon Swipe because it's a defensive skill, and I'm using Dragon Impact just to save my life. Otherwise, I would be going for the 100 halberds, and Pivoting Spear Dance is really situational. So as a tank, you want to have Dragon Swipe, Pivoting Spear Dance, Dragon Impact, and Dragon Fire Immolation leveled up instead. I suggest going in with the Pivoting Spear Dance yet again, because if it's a single target, it can pull it to you, and after that, you can use Dragon Swipe right away to lower its attack, then going in with either Dragon Fire Immolation for additional defense for the prolonged period of time, or Dragon Impact to lower the attacks of the enemy right after that. And for the fifth skill, right now, before we don't have that Dragon Siege again, we will go with the Dragon Fury, because stun is just that good. Stun is really useful in all the situations, so most likely it will be more useful for you. So you can use it anywhere in the PvE, I think in the PvP as well. So yeah, that's what we have for the skills of the Dragoon. I suggest leveling them equally. For the attacker, I would really focus on the Dragon Charge, because it's a really good skill that you will use all the time, because it's breaking enemy's armor. And then moving on to Dragon Fire Immolation, Dragon Fury, because you will be using that stun anyway, and when that stun does a lot of damage, it's really nice as well. And Dragon Fire Immolation is just that powerful, even with its long casting animation, that damage it does is really good. And after that, just level them one by one like I'm doing here. That will be good enough, so we don't want to force one of the skills way too high. For the tank, I suggest going evenly because your main priority isn't the damage, it's mostly not being killed, so you want to have as many stats as possible, and you want to level up all your main skills to get additional defense, HP, evasion, and all that stuff that will help you to survive longer. Also keep in mind that talent reset is free right now. I don't know if it will be free forever, but you can change it all the time around, so you can experiment a little bit more with your own builds if you like. If you found something better, let me know in the comments as well. But considering the skills, their reset will cost you. So you can reset, for example, Dragon Impact, and it will cost you. You will go back to level 0. You will get all the books back, yes, but the cost of upgrade won't go back, so you'll have to invest a lot of gold to level up other skill. It's 10,000 gold for the white one, 50,000 gold for the blue one, and 100,000 for the green one. I don't know about the orange and higher, haven't got there yet, but I guess it's even more expensive. So it costs, not that much, but still it's a cost, so you don't want to reset them all the time. Now let's go over the stats. For the damage build, you really want to focus on your attack and you want to pump it as high as possible, because it will help you with the farming, it will help you with the damage, it will help you with the healing, it will help you with everything. It's damage, right? Secondary will be critical, and you want to kinda have some defense and HP as well. Since you're a melee character, you will get your ass kicked in the fight sometimes with AoE, and you don't want to die really fast. But really, just focus on those stats and that will be good enough. And since our skills buff our attack, attack is way more important than critical for us, because that's the stat that scales the most. Considering the tanking build, tanking Dragoons are going all way for the defense, because defense is being scaled with our skills. We have skills that increase our defense by percentage of what we have, so going for the high defense is important. But don't forget about evasion and HP as well, because those are really supportive as well. As you can see, I have 9.5k evasion, and it gives me 12% of evasion, which is really nice. It can save my ass from time to time. Now let's talk about Eidolons. I actually had to redo this whole part because what I thought before was wrong. I actually tested it and now I know the truth about the Eidolons and stats. So let's start with the damage build. For the damage build, you want to run the damage Eidolons that gives you attack. Let's see who we have right now. The best one would be Remayan, but I don't have her because her skill over here increase damage dealt by 8%. That's insanely powerful. And also she have bonus damage and everything, so she is a really good Eidolon for the damage dealer, but she's rare. For the leader of the squad, I'd suggest either Leona or the Rebecca, because the ultimate skill is both focused on the attack, but I really like Leona a little bit more because it plays damage dealt, not attack, so it should scale better. And it gives additional damage, and she is also quite easy to get to 3 stars, so you know, it should be easier for you. I really wouldn't suggest using Airglass a lot because his skill is base attack, so it's not really efficient, and his attack skill just deals additional damage of his own attack, so he doesn't do that much. And we'll talk about base stats in a minute. Zephyrus is pretty good as well, and I use the Spider Crystal as well because I don't have the better Eidolon so far. What's the idea? What's the team that I use? I usually run something like this, and I switch places between Leona and Rebecca all the time, so they will get the max affinity. So yeah, as you know, it's kinda being rewarded 1 affinity every 5 minutes when your Eidolon is a leader, so you want to make it up daily. And I use Stacy here because... where is Stacy? Because her squad bonus is when you land a critical strike, it increases all the stats by 2%, which is kinda good as well, because I do quite a lot of criticals. So yeah, basically I use Eidolons that give me player attack have percentage chance to increase its own attack by some percentage, not the base attack boost. Why? Because I tried it, I tested it, and let's check it out. My base attack right now is 20,142. And let's go into auto mode and see how much we can raise it here with this setup. Okay, 22, 23, 22, 21, 22, 23. Come on. Go higher, 24. So when all the buffs will kick in, when everything will stack up, that will give you quite a good attack boost. From what I've seen, it goes over to 23, 24. On average, which is something like 15% right now, which is pretty good because it gives quite a good boost. Now let's take a look what will happen if we will equip the damage boost Eidolons. So with all those guys equipped, that gives us 8 plus 10, 18% additional base attack. Let's see how much do we have right now. We have 20,235 attack. When we remove them, we got to 20,026 attack. So it's only 200 attack, which is equal to 1% of our overall attack, which is almost nothing. And I was really hoping that that base attack is way better. So someone like Hourglass is kinda useless right now because his attack deals additional damage of his own attack that doesn't boost ours, and his attack isn't that high. And then this one increased base attack, so it basically doesn't give us anything. And his ultimate, if he's the leader, gives us 8% attack only, which can be better from Rebecca or Leona. So yeah, those guys are pretty useless. I really suggest going for this one for the max DPS, and we use Stacy here for additional stat bonus, and the criticals are really nice as well, so that would work. And of course you want to replace Spider with the Ramayan. I think it's Ramayan, that goddess lady that's really powerful, but if you have her. So that's what we use for the damage build for the maximum DPS. For the defense, for the tanking, and for the defense as a damage dealer when you know that you'll take a lot of damage, I suggest going for something like this, because in this situation we have a lot of healing from the Zana, we have healing from the Maul, we have Vark for additional tanking, we have Milo for the additional defense boost. Then again, not the base defense. I used Automaton before, but I really regret that because yeah, he isn't that... Come on, блядь. Yeah, he isn't that good. That base defense shouldn't do that much. It's less than 1% boost. And Tia is pretty good because she have really good squad bonus, so it's nice to have her in the squad. So basically most of the defensive SSR Eidolons are pretty useful here. Let's actually go take a look at the guys who we don't have yet. So Sirena would be a nice option as well. She have really good bonus here. Unlikely I don't have her. Loki is goddamn OP, guys, because this thing is it's really strong. When deployed, players attack have 25% chance of increasing defense, so every time you attack you have chance to increase your defense. And when your HP drops below 50%, it increases your attack as well, so it's really good. And his skill decrease all stats of the target with less than blah 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 health by something, and it's making them way weaker. For the tanking we talk about Valk a little bit already, but we got announced with Sigrun recently, and she is extremely powerful as well. Look at this, it's giving the shield and it's also boosting attack after that, and her main skill increased defense by 10% at the first star rating, so she is really good as well. And her ultimate should be pretty nice, minus 30% of target's attack should help you a lot in the combat as well, so she is really good option as well. For evasion, of course, Anthea is good because, well, because she's good and she also looks good, so it's always nice to have her with you. Her ability is pretty good as well. Her squad ability recovers HP and chance to get evasion, so really nice to have. But her skill is actually decrease target's evasion and move speed, so it's a debuff, not something that you want as a tank. So yeah, focus on SSR, so focus on someone who have, when deployed, players attack have 10% chance of increasing your stats that you need, because that will help you way more than increasing your basic stat that gives you less than 2% bonus. And trust me, it works, because as you'll be running here, your stats will start increasing really fast. As you can see, we have defense up already by quite a lot and even higher, so yeah, during the fight, specifically during the intense boss fights where you'll be dashing at the boss and doing the damage all the time, it will give you quite a significant boost, because all those things will be stacked and you won't have to be running from one mob to another, so you'll be doing constant DPS. That will help you a lot. Another thing about Eidolon skills, as you can see, we have 8-second cooldown over here, right? And the effect of the skill is working for 8 seconds, so this is more or less permanent buff. So make sure to pick Eidolon with the proper active skill, common skill as well, because that thing helps a lot and it's basically active all the time. You will see when your Eidolon will use your skill over here, because you see those portraits moving and bam, and they appear on the battlefield. That means they use their skill and you got the buff, guys. It's pretty easy to guess, and then you wait and there we go again. So yeah, at least now you know how it works, because before that I was really hoping for the base skills, guys. It's a disaster. So for damage dealers, try to stack up as much of those percentage for attack gain. Those are really powerful, guys. For the defense, same for defense, because that will help way more than this shitty base defense percentage. I think it's counted for your base stats when you're naked, deduct your wing stats, deduct your costumes, deduct your books, deduct your Eidolons, and you will get the base stats. That's basically nothing. For equipment, I think it will be obvious that set with the base attack or the set with all stats goes for the damage dealer, and the set that have, where is it? Do I have it? And the set that have critical damage taken -% and chance to increase own defense will be going for the tank, but don't worry about that too much before, I think, level 110 at least, because the gear will change so fast and you most likely won't be able to get the full set before that. So yeah, just use whatever you have and upgrade it as you can. If we'll be talking about rerolling stats, I usually go for wherever I'll be lucky with, whatever give me most EP. I really like the movement speed ones, because that helped me to farm faster. That's what I do most of the time. But I really like to go for a balanced build here, some defense and everything. But focusing on attack will help a lot if it will be possible, because it's RNG based. So yeah, just go for wherever you feel comfortable with. Attack will be always your highest priority for the damage dealer. For the tank, defense will be always your highest priority, as always. Small tip for the emblems: when you don't have enough runes to level up the whole table, go for attack if you're a damage dealer, and the critical, and then for the health and defense. And for the tank, go for the defense, then health, then evasion as well. So pick the stats that you need most here, because it might take a while before you'll be able to fill the whole table. I won't talk that much about the mounts and the wings gems, because basically use the best ones that you can, focusing again on either attack for the damage dealer or for defense, HP and evasion for the tank, starting with defense, so it's easy. And same for the mount, go with attack mount. If you're a damage dealer, go for defense mount, which I wanna create sooner or later for the tanking build. If you guys want the mount guide, I'll make one when I'll get enough of those battles. I think it will take about a week or two. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you won't miss any of those videos. So yeah, basically I think I told about everything. Just focus on the stats that you need, including the book, including the farming. I'm actually right now farming attack everywhere, and I was kinda successful with that. So you really want to go for the stats that you need the most. So either defense or attack, mostly for the different builds. And if you guys are wondering what did I meant about our class being the weakest one in the late game, well, first of all, I watched the race video, I think you saw that as well, and she said the Dragoons are really weak, she kills them in 5 hits. The top Dragoon, maybe it's an issue because of she's really paid to win, I don't know, but that's the thing. Moreover, I really don't like how we're being kited in the arena. If you'll get to the real-time arena, you will feel how horrible it is, because you will be kited all around. It can be countered, it can be played. It's possible to counter that. I'll make specific video on that a bit later as well, but it's really frustrating, and it's so much easier to play as other classes. As you can see here, I'm farming, and for me it requires to go to each mob and hit them in order to get the kill. For the ranged character, they need just do pew and the enemy will die and they'll get the kill, so they can farm so much faster. Moreover, there is an annoying bug that you've seen right here. When the mobs are moving away from you and you're using the normal attack as a melee character, you will miss and it will take even longer to kill one. So that's not a thing with ranged characters as well. And yeah, that's a major setback for the melee characters. But I hope the developers will look into our class a little bit later and we'll get the buff that we deserve. Honestly, because, yeah, right now we are not the best tanks, we are not the best damage dealers, so I don't know why we are still in this game, but I like my class and I'll keep playing it. And you guys, share your thoughts about your Dragoons, your tactics that you use while you play in the comments. While you're going there, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and make sure that the bell notification is turned to all so you won't miss anything. Also, you can join our fantastic Discord, the link will be in the description. We're talking about everything over there, so you might like it. Follow me on Twitch for live streams. I'm streaming every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, mostly PC games, but you might find something interesting over there as well. And follow me on the social media. All the links are over here or in the description. Thank you for watching, guys. Sweat out. See ya, comrades. Bye.